So the Ramcharitmanas, what we have to do, the deux Kand Nuina pour faire, right? First is Aranya Kand, when he is in the forest. And then we have Kishkinda Kand. Today, we are going to do Aranya Kand, right? So for Aranya Kand, you have only these verses, 33 à 36, right? Only this you have in your syllabus. Now, let's see the background story avant qu'il ne vienne exactement what is there in the syllabus. So as I told you earlier, that Sita got kidnapped by Ravan when they were in the forest, right? Actually, what happened, there was marriage, right? Marriage transformed himself in the golden deer form. And when Sita saw that deer, she told Ram to bring that deer for her. But that was illusion. Actually, c'était pas vraiment un deer, but he was Marriage. Marriage was the uncle of Ravan. He was a demon as well. Donc Ram went in search of that deer, and then Lakshman also had to go later, and Sita was alone. And this is how Ravan came and kidnapped Sita. Now, when he kidnapped Sita, he was taking her to Lanka. He was taking her to Lanka on his aerial chariot. You have seen maybe in movies, they travel in aerial chariot, right? But then there was the bird Jatayu. We just talked about it. The bird Jatayu saw that someone, a king, a kind of king, Ravan, was taking Sita, Mother Sita, in the south direction. So Jatayu, he thought that it is his duty to save Sita, right? Well, at times I say he's, at times it. In books at times, you say the pronoun he for Jatayu. So he tried to save Sita, but he could not. Jatayu could not. Because finally, Jatayu was a bird, you know. Comment at least people have take Sita from there. So Ravan then, as you see in the photo, Ravan then chopped one wing of Jatayu. And of course, with that one wing which was chopped off, Jatayu can't fly with that. So he fell on the ground and he was unsuccessful in saving Sita, right? So Ravan continued his way towards the south. Jatayu was the only witness. If it's not exactly only, even the ape-like men saw something going, but they were not sure about it. So he was the one who actually saw Sita with Ravan, the only witness, as I said, going towards the south. So towards the south is definitely Lanka, right? So here, what do we learn from Jatayu, right? Jatayu was a bird, right? If you compare Jatayu with a human, nous comparons avec nous-mêmes, a bird avec nous, a human. A human is somehow more capable of doing things compared to a bird, right? Yet, Jatayu being a bird, il y a a certain limit, il y a a certain restriction physically, bien sûr, but yet he tried his best to save Mother Sita. The bird Jatayu did what you call dharma, performed its duty, dharma. Okay, so when you write about stories like that, always take out lessons. Pas écrire une histoire as an answer, that is never enough. Take out lessons, right? I continue now. Now Ram and Lakshman, finally, they came to know that Sita is missing. When they returned, bien sûr, they returned and they saw that Sita was missing. So they went in search of Sita. And while searching for Sita, going around in the forest, they saw the bird wounded. Jatayu was wounded on the ground. It was like Jatayu was waiting for someone to come to inform them, to inform the person that Ravan has taken Sita in the south direction. Because he is the only witness right now. So Ram came and saw that, even Lakshman, bien sûr. And Jatayu was able to tell Ram, to inform Ram that Ravan took Sita to the south direction. He was the only witness, and Jatayu was the messenger. Il transmet un message, right? Il dit un message. He was the messenger. C'est ça, là, je trouve le mot divine messenger for him. So then Jatayu was definitely much wounded, and Jatayu breathed his last breath in Mo, comme si he died in the arms of Ram. Now just see that, analyze it plutôt. He was a bird. Normalement, we have many species of life. Species of life, right? Now, the human body is considered to be the superior. But aucun superior another body. When we are born as a human, that is the last body, right? Now, the inferior, because serve le mot superior, inferior to denote power hierarchy là, just to explain que starting from 1 pouvons jusqu'à 8.4 millions, right? So human is the highest one, right? But the others, who are the inferior ones, say the birds, the animals, the plants, etc. Right? So my point here is Jatayu is from the bird's kingdom, right? The bird. Jatayu is not like a human having the superior body, but a bird. Now, the bird died in the hands of Ram by doing the right action. Quand il s'est fait faire the right action, Jatayu died in the hands of Ram. What was the right action? Saving Sita, right? And being the messenger here. We inform Ram that Ravan took Sita to the south, right? So he was doing a good action. It is said in the Bhagavad Gita that at the time of death, I rephrase it. While we are performing our actions, we are doing our duty. Duty veut dire the right action, bien sûr. If ever we die at that time, we attain salvation. We attain liberation. Nous gagnons moksha. Right? This has been written in the Bhagavad Gita. Si nous devons faire un travail, our duty, and we died, we attain moksha, right? The same happened for Jatayu right now. Jatayu did his duty. Honestly, he was wounded. He died. He died in the hands of Ram. So salvation is definitely for him. Ram performed the last rites of Jatayu, like funeral type of Jatayu. So you see, law of karma here. If we do good action, when a good reaction, we'll get good result, right? That's what I was telling you. Quand un petit histoire, tu les temps, take out lessons from that. I continue. Now, on their way in the search of Sita, Ram and Lakshman, they came across the hut of Shabri. Now, this is exactly what is there in your syllabus for Aranya Kanda, right? The story of Shabri. Now, Shabri was an old woman. At that time, quand Ram s'est mis quickly, bien sûr, he was an old woman. He was uneducated. He was illiterate. She was illiterate. And she was from low caste, right? She was from low caste. On appelle ça man Shabar. Shabar, c'est the low caste. Now, Shabri had a guru. When she was young, she had a guru, and the guru's name was Matang. You have it in the book, the name somewhere. The page 161 même in Ali, Sage Matang, right? Now, Sage Matang predicted that Shabri will meet Ram. Okay, Ram will definitely come to meet Shabri one. Donc, quand Sage Matang dit ça, she renounced everything. Her parents actually wanted to get her married. They were preparing for her marriage, meaning survey. She did not want to get married. Then she came to the hermit of Sage Matang. She learned things from Sage Matang. Before dying, Sage Matang predicted that Shabri will meet Ram, right? Since that day, when Sage Matang said that every day, it's bien jeune at that time, every day Shabri was cleaning the hut, was prepared, comment dans photo là, bon, peut-être un petit peu exagéré, but she was cleaning and preparing for the arrival of Ram. And every day she was plucking fruits, because quand Ram pour venir, she needed to have something to offer to Ram. She was doing that every day since her youth, jusqu'à une vie vieille. She's old now. And finally, Ram came. When Ram was in search of Sita, he went to meet Shabri. Actually, Linal joined Shabri to ask if ever she has seen Sita or not, right? But tout ça, c'est qui nous appelle ban lila of God. You know, the divine play of God, right? So finally, Ram went to the abode, again to the hut of Shabri to meet her. And when Ram came, no, this was Shabri, every day she was plucking fruits and all. So the day Ram came there in search of Sita, no doubt Shabri would be very happy, right? Ce qui nous appelle Ananda. Ananda, that is bliss. Because she waited for Ram for so long, for so many years, and finally Ram appeared, or Ram came to meet her. So she welcomed Ram and Lakshman as well. She gave them a seat of honor. Whenever Ram sits, Lakshman does not sit together, right? She is like the guardian. So, and she offered them, both of them, yes, yeah, water. She offered them fruits, right? But you know well that before offering the fruits, she was tasting the fruits first, just to know, just to see if the fruit is good to be given to Ram, to be offered to Ram, right? And comme s'il mange le fruit là and bout égété, if it is good, then she will give the same fruit to Ram. That is, Ram was eating the leftover of Shabri. right? So Ram accepted them, accepted the fruits, accepted the leftover. That is left over. Ram accepted that and he very much appreciated the fruits, right? But Lakshman was there. He was like a bit confused, a bit angry. Why Ram was eating the leftover of such a woman, right? Then Ram explained to Lakshman that for him, devotion is more important, right? Shabri was offering that leftover to Ram out of pure devotion. There was no other bad intention behind that. That was only pure devotion, and this is what God wants and nothing else. Ram explained that to Lakshman. You will see that on page 162. So I continue. Now, Shabri, each time she was she was sitting, standing with folded hands, like Kumonife Pranam, Namaste, she was doing that each and every time. So much happiness in her that she could see, she could meet, she could offer something to Ram, right? So her devotion was increasing each and every moment. Each time she was seeing Ram or the feet of Ram, the devotion, that love was increasing each moment. And she felt so much immersed in the love of Ram. Love of Ram is exactly what you call devotion, right? If we have to see the meaning of devotion, devotion means means intense love for God. This is the meaning of devotion. So she was feeling so immersed in that love, right? So then Shabri said, page 163, you will have that. Shabri said that, "O Lord, O Ram, I am an old woman, right? From a low caste, and I'm uneducated, I'm illiterate." And she knew no prayers. She knew no prayers, no ritual to worship Ram. Ritual like Kanfen Puja and Fenta rituals. But she did not know anything as such. She actually told that to Ram, right? So point here to remember, previously in India, there was a society where women, well, still no in Ali, but let's talk about the ancient time. At a certain particular time, 14e, 5e, 15e, right? 14th and 15th century approx. Women were considered to be inferior, right? People were considering women inferior. Là même, je vais faire ce système. Brûle madame là ensemble avec son dead husband. If ever they don't do such a system, she has to live forever like a widow, right? There were many problems, and women were considered inferior. They were not allowed to enter temples. They were not allowed to read the Veda, to read the scriptures, right? So Shabri was saying that she was an old woman, and she was from low caste. Well, I guess that in India, that was a big problem at those times. The low caste people do not enter temples, right? They don't even touch or read a scripture, right? So she was stating the fact to Ram about her situation. Then Ram told her that only devotion is dear to him, right? Nothing is more important than devotion. Like it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, that is, you may offer God a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or you offer nothing to him, just devotion. that is enough for God, right? When we go to temple, even if we don't bring anything, but we just take with us our devotion, that is enough for God. So caste, color, family, gender, status has no place in devotion between God and his devotee, right? Then Ram said, I took it from the book itself. Ram said, oh, good lady, you are the very embodiment of devotion. Means you represent devotion. Your selfless love is unique and exemplary. That is, Shabri is like we did in Bhagavad Gita last time, like a path maker. She is an example to us. She is unique, right? With that, Ram explained the 9 forms of devotion. And you have to know the 9 forms of devotion.